So this is a screenshot of a video that I just posted. This is directly from a dairy farmer himself, a small family operated dairy. And in this video that he posted the other day, he goes into the barn where his pregnant dairy cows are, and the one dairy cow had just given birth to this little baby, and he literally, out of his own mouth, says that the temperature, the wind chill, is going to be dropping to minus 20 degrees. And he takes this little calf who's in a barn, a newborn baby that was just born, in a barn with his mother, and puts him outside by himself in a tiny little pen, and out of his own mouth says that the wind chill is going to be minus 20 degrees. In case you don't know, sub-zero weather is dangerous for newborn calves. Yeah, these animals are not native animals, in case you don't know. And the reason why they take these newborn babies off of those dairy cows is, well, so they can sell their baby food to you for profit, but also they take these babies off of their mothers soon after they're born, typically within hours, sometimes like right away. And that is so that the mother and baby do not form a bond. I mean, how evil is that? And yeah, new TikTok video by the Iowa dairy farmer. He just put out this video. So all of you vegan activists, go to the Iowa dairy farmers TikTok account and look at the latest TikTok video he posted of himself sexually violating a dairy cow. And he's literally shoving semen into her vagina and saying, oh, see, it's not like you vegans say. It's not violent. Since when does sexual assault have to be violent? Huh? I mean, like when a perpetrator gives a date rape drug to his victim and she's knocked out, is it suddenly not a crime because she's laying there not resisting? Or when a woman's literally afraid to resist, you know, not that she's unconscious, but she's conscious, but she's afraid. Or maybe this person doesn't have the mental capacity to understand what is happening to her. Does it make it okay to do such a thing to a human? To shove semen into a human's vagina without their consent? And he's like literally shoving semen into the dairy cow's vagina. And he's like, oh, look, she's not resisting. It's not violence. It's not a crime. It's not sexual assault. This is artificial insemination. No, it is not. He is literally sexually violating this dairy cow. And he's doing this not to help this dairy cow. He's doing this for the sinister purpose of getting her pregnant, to get her to start lactating or to keep her lactating. And then when she gives birth, just like this dairy farmer, he is going to take her baby from her soon, very soon, like within hours of being born. Going to take those little babies. And, you know, the Iowa dairy farmer says the same thing as this dairy farmer about what he does with his male calves, is he sells them off to the beef industry. So in this video that this dairy farmer posted, that I edited down to a 1-minute TikTok video, so check out my last video, you'll see from his own mouth, he's literally saying, you know, this is a beef calf, and he's saying that he's selling him in 10 days. 10 days, this newborn little baby is being sold off to the beef industry to be slaughtered at about 1 year of age. Well, 1 year, because they're slaughtered between 12 to 22 months old for beef. Beef cattle are slaughtered between 12 to 22 months. Now, veal calves are slaughtered within weeks of being born, you know, up to like maybe 6 months. But yeah, most of these animals in the animal agriculture industry do not live to see their first birthday, not even anywhere near their first birthday. But even beef cattle, they don't live to see, they might live to see their first birthday, but they do not live to see their second birthday. And these animals can actually live over 20 years. So yeah, check out my video. And also, yeah, check out the Iowa dairy farmer's latest video where he's literally sexually violating a dairy cow right in his TikTok video that he just posted. And people are like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's something extremely wrong with that. God put animals on the earth. No. Read Genesis 1:29 on the very first page of the Bible. Thou shalt not kill. Yeah, did you ever read that commandment? That's a commandment. Thou shalt not steal. Literally, they steal the babies off of these animals to steal their baby food, to sell you their stolen baby food. I don't know why you're using the Bible to justify this, you know, this atrocity. I mean, if the same exact things happening to these animals were happening to humans, they would in fact be crimes of rape, kidnapping, theft, and murder. Yeah, well, how can you say that you're a supremacist any better than saying, oh, but that's what they're bred for. They're bred for that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Bred to be sexually violated, bred to be neglected and abused and forced into a slaughterhouse. That's creepy. I mean, if, you know, child molesters were breeding children for that purpose, would it make it okay? Would it make it okay then? Because, well, that's what they're being bred for. So now it's okay because they're being bred specifically for that purpose. I mean, that is your logic, not mine. That is your logic, not mine. And you're literally using the Bible to justify, you know, these animals, their mothers, are sexually assaulted. The fathers, sexually assaulted. They literally masturbate bulls. Masturbate them till they ejaculate. And that is bestiality, in case you don't know. They sexually stimulate male animals. And this is happening throughout the entire animal agriculture industry. They sexually violate the male animals to collect their semen. And how they collect that semen is they masturbate them. Or they shove an electro-ejaculator in their anus to get them to ejaculate. To collect the semen, to force that semen into the female animals, to force them to reproduce, to make the baby animals that are raised for their flesh. And in the case of dairy, to get those dairy cows pregnant so that they will start lactating, so they can steal their babies off of them soon after they're born, to steal the baby food that belongs to these babies, while these babies, if they're boys, are being slaughtered. Because that's what oh, you are so creepy. Yeah, and there's nothing funny about this. This is just so weird. It's like the zombie apocalypse is here right now, happening right now. The zombie apocalypse is absolutely happening, like, right now. Like, seriously. Like, so weird that, you know, there's literally dairy farmers posting TikTok sexually violating a dairy cow, and they're like, oh, look, there's nothing violent happening here. Look, she's just laying there letting me shove semen into her. Well, imagine if that was a woman that wasn't of the mental capacity to understand what exactly was happening to them. And you just shove semen into their vagina to get them pregnant, to get them to start lactating so that you can steal their baby and kill that baby if that baby's a boy, to then hook her up to a milking machine to suck her baby's food out of her body while her baby is being slaughtered. Yeah, see how evil this industry is? If you could just put humans in the place of these animals and imagine the same sick, evil things being done to these animals, you'd understand how violent, how truly violent and evil and despicable this industry is. And not just the dairy industry. I'm talking about the whole entire animal agriculture industry is disgusting. Disgusting. And this is disgusting, evil industry is literally destroying our planet, causing the 6th mass extinction. And people, you need to start speaking up. You need to start speaking up against this atrocity. We got to get this fucking shit. We got to get this shit banned. Seriously. And you know, these animals can't wait. These animals can't wait another decade. I mean, it's not like animal activists have just popped up. This has been going on for decades. This fight for animal liberation has been going on for decades. Now, we have never lived in a time where we can literally reach people all over the world. Us, like, look at me. I'm not even anybody. Okay? And I got 500 people viewing my live stream right now. I'm a nobody. And back a few months ago, I went live and I had 6,000 people. 6,000 people at once. Not for the whole entire live stream. That was like just at any given time during the live stream. 6,000 viewers. And I'm nobody. So you can literally use this app and reach tens of thousands of people with the truth to get people to go vegan. Most people, if they're decent, rational people, they'll go vegan when they learn the truth about what's being done to these animals, what's being done to this planet because of how destructive this industry is. It is the most resource intensive industry ever. Land use. Yeah. Researchers at Oxford did an extensive study of over 40,000 farms and concluded that animal agriculture is so environmentally destructive, going vegan is the best way to save the planet, and that if the world went vegan, land totaling the size of Africa could be freed up. Because that is how much land is needed to graze and grow food for all of these ceaseless tens of billions of animals that are needed to keep up with the demand for animal flesh and animal secretions. And the more meat, dairy, and egg products you consume, the more risk you have of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, cerebrovascular disease, causing a pandemic like bird flu, swine flu, COVID. Yeah. The world needs to go vegan, and the world needs to go vegan right now. This industry needs to be banned. And like I said, check out my last video. This is coming straight from a small family-operated dairy farmer. This is a small family-operated dairy farm, and the farmer, literally out of his own mouth, says that this just happened the other day. Just the other day. He's saying the temperature, the wind chill, was dropping to minus 20 degrees. And at the start of the video, he goes into the barn where the dairy cows are, the pregnant dairy cows. And the one dairy cow had just given birth to this little baby boy. And he says in the video that, oh, this is a beef, or it's a male calf, that it's a beef calf. And that he's going to sell him to the beef industry in 10 days. And so then he takes this little calf, just born, this newborn little baby, takes him off the dairy cow and puts him outside when he just said that the temperature, or the wind chill, is dropping to minus 20 below zero. Sub-zero weather is life-threatening to these newborn calves, in case you don't know. And yeah, why do they do this? Why do they take these newborn calves off of their mothers? Standard practice throughout the entire dairy industry all over the world. This is what dairy farmers all over the world are doing when those dairy cows give birth. Even the farmers on the small family-operated dairy farms. As soon as those dairy cows give birth, they take those little babies off of those dairy cows so that they do not form a bond. So that the mother and the baby do not bond. And then they take the babies, put them in these tiny little pens where they can barely move, out there in all kinds of weather extremes. And this little baby is out there in minus 20 wind chill. I mean, that's crazy. How you can think that is okay to do to an animal just because you want to consume their stolen baby food? That's insanity. That is insanity. And it's really, really disturbing that there are women with babies who cannot comprehend that this is fucking wrong. Because, oh, that's not a human baby. So who gives a fuck? Yeah, steal that little baby from his mother and kill him so I can have his stolen baby food. Yeah. And then grown men. Do you understand what cow's milk is? I mean, that's really pathetic that you don't even obviously, you people who are like literally defending this vileness, you obviously don't even know what cow's milk really is. Cow's milk is baby food for baby cows, not for grown ass fucking humans. Yeah, keep on bragging. Keep on bragging. Keep on bragging. Stay mad, stay mad, stay mad. Stay mad. All you dairy farmers out there, stay mad that we vegan activists are telling the truth. Telling the truth. Oh, you're so mad, aren't you? Aren't you? Yeah, stay mad. Yeah, it's funny that all you dairy farmers are flipping your fucking lids that vegans are actually allowed to use this app to get the truth out to the masses. And yeah, this industry is going to come to an end. It's going to come to an end a lot sooner than you think. It's going to come to an end. It's ending. It's ending. And I think that's why these farmers are really getting so mad, because it is coming to an end. I mean, look at the weather extremes. Climate change. Animal agriculture is the main cause of climate change, in case you don't know. It is, literally. Animal agriculture is the main cause of climate change. It is the main cause of the 6th mass extinction. Animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, ocean plastics, fisheries depletion, pandemics, world hunger, and climate change. And no, there's nothing funny about what they're doing to these animals. Nothing funny. Nothing funny. It's an atrocity. It's an atrocity. Literally, if the same things being done to these animals to produce animal products were being done to humans, they would in fact be crimes of rape, kidnapping, theft, and murder. And I'm not even exaggerating. And yeah, just check out the Iowa dairy farmer's latest TikTok. Yeah, he's literally sexually violating a dairy cow, shoving semen in her vagina. And just because she's laying there, because she doesn't have the mental capacity to understand fully what he's really doing to her, he's like, oh, see, this isn't violent. As if, sexually assaulting someone has to be violent. Like the victim actually has to resist in order for it to be like a violent crime. It's just craziness. Yeah, shoving semen into a female's vagina without her consent is sexual assault. That is sexual assault. He's literally sexually assaulting his dairy cows. All dairy farmers do this. They start off by, sexually violating a bull to collect their semen, to then force that semen into those dairy cows' vaginas to impregnate them for the sinister purpose of stealing their babies off of them and killing all the boys so they can steal their baby food to sell it to you. No, I'm just stating facts. Look at the Iowa, look at the Iowa dairy farmer's latest TikTok. Listen to the song, the sick, perverted song that he is playing as he's sexually violating this dairy cow by shoving semen into her vagina for the sinister purpose of impregnating her to get her to start lactating or to keep her lactating. And then when her baby is born, he's going to steal that baby off of her. And if that baby's a boy, he's going to sell him off to the beef industry so that baby boy will be slaughtered at 1 year of age and his flesh eaten and his baby food stolen from his mother's body and sold to you for profit. And in case you don't know, bovines can live over 20 years. But in the dairy industry, all the males are slaughtered before 2 years of age. Most don't even live to see anywhere near their first birthday. But even if they're raised for beef cattle are slaughtered before their second birthday, when they can live over 20 years. And those dairy cows are sent to slaughter too when they can no longer produce enough milk to be profitable. That typically happens at about 5 years of age, when again, they can live over 20 years. Yeah, get your facts straight. Get your facts straight. Yeah, that artificial insemination process is not artificial insemination. They literally sexually violate those animals. Those animals do not give consent. The males do not give consent to being masturbated, to having electroejaculators shoved in their anuses. They do not consent to that. Those female animals do not consent to having semen forced into their vaginas to impregnate them for the sinister purpose of their babies being stolen and butchered. And in the case of dairy, their baby boys being stolen and butchered, and their baby's food being stolen from their bodies and sold to humans for profit. Yeah, well, that's all they're doing this for, is to make money. Greed and gluttony are deadly sins. Greed and gluttony are deadly sins. And wrath is a deadly sin too. Yeah, look how angry people get when vegans, expose reality. People get so angry. For what? Why are you angry at me? All of this hate I'm getting. All of this hate that I'm getting just for stating facts. Just for stating facts. This is not right. You're literally here defending this behavior. Sexually violating animals to force them to reproduce, to steal their babies off of them, to kill their babies, to steal their babies' baby food. Cow's milk is baby food for baby cows, in case you don't know. The only reason why a dairy cow produces milk is because she is a mother, not because she's a dairy cow. It's not an automatic thing. It is not an automatic thing for these dairy cows to produce milk. They do not produce milk because they're dairy cows, which is probably like what most of you people believe. Yeah, most of you people, I guarantee you actually think dairy cows, oh, well, they're dairy cows. That's just what they do. They produce milk. No, they produce milk because they're mothers, because they were sexually violated. They had semen forced into their vaginas. If you were to force semen into a woman's vagina without her consent, that would not be artificial insemination. No, I'm not wasting my time. Not wasting my time. I got over 500 viewers right now. And I consistently get like 10, 20, 30,000 viewers. So let's see, how many do I have right now? Total viewers, 4,000. And I've only been live for like 20 minutes. And I've already had over 4,000 viewers view this live stream. Yeah, so maybe you don't give a fuck, but other people do. And other people are going vegan. Other people are going vegan. Yeah, you can laugh at me all you want. But guess what? People are listening. I mean, 500 people watching my live stream. I know at least a couple dozen of those people are actually like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I should go vegan. Let's see. Let me pull up something else. Let's see. Oh no, it's right here. It's right here. Let's see. Okay, so this commenter here, to this video that I posted about this small family operated dairy farm where the farmer literally goes into the barn and discovers the one dairy cow gave birth to this little male calf. So he takes this little baby off of his mother, this newborn baby, and out of his own mouth says that the wind chill is going to drop to -20 that night. And he puts him outside. And then, you know, here we go. Look at this. I can't drive through an In-N-Out burger anymore. Just can't do it. These videos have changed me. Thank you. Yep. So right there, one commenter just from the latest video that I posted. Literally said videos like mine have gotten her to stop consuming animal products. So yeah, I'm going to continue doing this. And I've been doing this for over 7 years now. Every day I go live. Well, I've been on TikTok for over 2 years now, going live every day, posting TikTok videos on multiple accounts every day. So yeah, I know my content is reaching people. And even if it's just 1 or 2 people a day, which I'm sure it's a hell of a lot more than that a day that, you know, see my content and then start thinking twice about, you know, their consumption habits. You know, I've been doing this over 7 years, so I guarantee a lot of people have gone vegan because of me. I know a lot of people have significantly reduced their consumption of animal products because of me, but I don't want people to reduce their consumption of animal products. This is completely wrong. This is totally, completely wrong what they're doing to these animals. So you need to just cut it out completely. Don't think that just because you're cutting back that that's a good thing. Because, you know, we wouldn't ask somebody who is victimizing a child to just, you know, don't beat the kid up that often. You know, instead of beating the kid up every day, why don't you just beat him up like once a week? Or better yet, like once a month. You know, beat his ass like once a month, you know. No, don't beat his ass at all, okay? Unless he's like doing something to an animal that he shouldn't be doing to an animal, you know, then whip his ass. Like, you know, yeah, but these farmers literally teach their children. Like, there are videos of farmers teaching like 8-year-olds how to sexually violate animals. That's really fucking creepy. That is real, and it's child abuse too, in case you don't know. These children are literally being psychologically abused and manipulated. You know, these kids in the 4-H program and the FA program, they are being psychologically abused and manipulated. Yeah, oh, yeah. That's a good thing. Yeah, send your kid out into the woods with a deadly weapon. Yeah. Oh, I could bring up I can just like right now Google like 11-year-olds in hunting accidents, like just 11-year-old. Like a couple months ago, there was a story of an 11-year-old that got killed in a hunting accident. And I was like, oh, I wanted to get more information on that story. So in the search box on Google, I put 11-year-old killed in hunting accident. And then I get all of these stories of all kinds of 11-year-old kids killed in hunting accidents. This kid killed at 11 years old. That kid, that kid, that kid, that kid, that kid. And then I'm like, well, let me put 12-year-old. And then, yeah, 12-year-old killed in hunting accident. And there's all these stories of all of these. Not one 12-year-old kid getting killed in a hunting accident. Lots of you should be charged with child abuse, child endangerment. Sending your kid out into the woods with a deadly weapon and thinking, you know, like Nothing bad's going to happen? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could add more to that. But yeah, gotta be careful what I say. But yeah, that is child abuse. Sending your kid out into the woods with a deadly weapon, where there are other people with deadly weapons, gung-ho lunatics, hell-bent on gunning down animals, ready to shoot anything that moves. Gotta kill it, gotta kill it, gotta kill it. Kill, 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 kill. I'm a Christian. I'm pro-life, but let's go out into the woods and kill, kill, kill some animals. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this lady's crazy. No, I'm just like, seriously, these hunters are crazy. I'm pro-life, but let's go out in the woods and kill, 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 kill. That commandment from God is, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. I'm not a Christian either, but I do believe in good and I do believe in evil. And I'm against evil. I want to destroy evil. Yeah, I want to destroy evil. Yeah, I'm vegan because I'm against evil. I'm vegan because I'm against evil. Yes, it is absolutely evil to sexually violate other species and to think it's okay to sexually violate other species because, well, they're other species. They're not human. So yeah, it's okay to masturbate another species, force their semen into another species' vagina to impregnate them, to steal their babies from them, to kill those babies, to steal the food that belongs to these babies. Yeah, this is pure evil. That is why I'm vegan, because I'm against evil. I am against evil. That is why I am vegan. Nothing more evil than sexually violating someone, to steal their babies from them, to force those babies screaming into a slaughterhouse to hack them to pieces just for the sin of greed and gluttony. That's all this is being done for. Deadly sins. And then, another deadly sin, the sin of wrath. I mean, look at you people. I'm literally here just stating facts. And look at the outrage. And you act like you're not outraged, but, your comments, yeah, you think you're being funny, but, I know deep down under it, like your blood is boiling. Because you don't like it when people like me expose the sick, disgusting, evil things you're doing to these animals. Yeah, all you have to do to determine if something is right or wrong is determine if you want the same thing done to you. This is a newborn baby. Look at my last video. I think it's the last video, or second to last video. I have so many accounts and I post things to all of them every day. Because I'm desperate to get this industry buried. Needs to be buried. And yeah, the only way that's ever going to happen is, we got to be relentless. Like these animal victimizers are relentless at killing animals. We got to be relentless at exposing what's happening to these animals. That's why I'm on YouTube. Every day I'm on YouTube trying to come up with more evidence. And this was a good video that I came up with the other day. This video is taken off of YouTube from a small family operated dairy farm. This farmer who runs this small family operated dairy farm posted this video just the other day. He literally goes into the barn where his pregnant dairy cows are, One of the dairy cows just had given birth to this baby. And he literally says out of his own mouth that the wind chill is going to drop to minus 20 degrees. So he takes this newborn baby out of this shed, off of his mother, and puts him outside in this pen when he just said out of his own mouth that the temperature or the wind chill was going to drop to minus 20 degrees. And he also said that this is a beef calf, so he's selling him in 10 days. So if he's only going to keep this little baby for 10 days, why can't he keep him in the shed with his mother, in the barn with his mother? Why can't he keep this little newborn baby in the barn with his mother? Well, it's standard practice in the dairy industry that they take the newborn babies off of those dairy cows so that the mother and the baby do not bond with one another. Oh, because that will affect the production of milk flow. Yeah, from that dairy cow's body if she's stressed. That could affect her immune system. Because, you know, the stress of her being attached to her baby and having that baby, because that baby is, like he said, 10 days, that baby's going off to the beef industry to be raised for about 12 to 22 months and then forced into a slaughterhouse, killed at 1 year old when they can live over 20 years. So yeah, he's taken this baby like all other dairy farmers do. They take these little newborn babies off of those dairy cows within hours of them being born so that the mother and the baby do not bond. So that when they, you know, send these little babies off to slaughter, that causes less stress for the dairy cow. But yeah, they still get stressed out. And they're literally stealing newborn babies off of their mothers so you can consume their stolen baby food. And people are like, oh, but look, they're putting a coat on him. Oh, that's so nice. Are you fucking kidding me? This is a newborn baby again. What don't you understand? That newborn babies should be with their mothers. But this disgusting, vile industry takes those newborn babies off of those dairy cows so that they don't bond with one another. So that they can hook that dairy cow up to a milking machine multiple times a day to suck his food out of her body. It's an animal, ma'am. It's pathetic you don't understand that humans are animals. So I don't know what the fuck your point is. Humans are animals. And these animals, just like us, they form bonds with their mothers. Yeah. Because they're animals like we are. They're capable of forming bonds. They have emotions. They get depressed. They get excited. Like, you know, when a baby gets separated, when a calf gets separated from his mother, and a vegan activist steps in and rescues the baby and takes the mother and puts the mother in an animal sanctuary, then gets the baby and takes the baby back to the mother. Yeah, maybe I should post that video where the mother and the baby are reunited because a vegan activist got them both back together and got them onto an animal sanctuary where they can live the rest of their lives together in peace. And see how excited the mother is when she sees her baby again. Yeah, vegans are evil. Like, that is just so evil that you don't want to see little babies taken from their mothers. How evil can you be? Yeah, you're just 4-H. Yeah, 4-H. That should be illegal. They need to be charged with child abuse. They literally psychologically abuse children. I don't know how many TikToks I've come across where these kids in this 4-H program, these kids in this FA program, literally are hysterical because they have to send their animals to a slaughterhouse. And one minute, you know, like this one girl literally crying that she has to send her pig to a slaughterhouse. And then I jump in and do a little TikTok about it. Like, don't send your friend to a slaughterhouse, send him to a sanctuary. And then, you know, something about, oh, he's going to be tasty. Like I said something like, I guess he's dead now or something. Oh, yeah, he's dead. Oh, he's going to be delicious. So one minute she's like crying over him. And then the next minute she's like, oh, he's going to be delicious. Like, yeah, I mean, this program, the 4-H program and the FFH program, or FFA program, they're doing a number on these children's brains. Like, seriously, they got them so messed up. I mean, one minute they're freaking bawling their eyes out. They're attached to these animals. Calling these animals their best friend. And then the next minute they're sending them off to a fucking slaughterhouse to be hacked to pieces. Thanks for that. No, this choice was pushed on me growing up to eat animals. So yeah, I have every right to be on this app telling people, do not eat animals. You don't have to eat animals. I know you don't want to eat animals. If you're an animal lover, if you're against animal abuse, if you understand that it's wrong to steal babies off of their mothers and throw them out into minus 20-degree weather, you need to go vegan. But see, growing up, I wasn't given the choice to be vegan. I never even heard the word vegan until I was in my 20s. So yeah, I was pushed into eating animals, like so badly, I wasn't even given an option to not eat animals. I just thought it was a given. I just literally thought it was a given. To the point where when I got out on my own and I went grocery shopping, I would literally, you know, fill up my cart with dead animal body parts and animal secretions and never think twice about what the fuck it is I was consuming. Just looking at those things as if they were food. Oh, I'm going to get some bacon because that's food. That's breakfast. I'm going to get some eggs because that's food. That's breakfast. I'm going to get some porterhouse steaks because that's food. That's dinner. Yeah, but once I started seeing slaughterhouse footage, that's when I was like, oh, whoa, wait a second here. Something's not right. I don't want to see an animal forced into a slaughterhouse and hacked to pieces for my food preferences. And see, I was so freaking brainwashed into thinking I had to consume animal flesh and secretions to be healthy that when I first went vegan, I actually thought that I might not be able to stick with it because I actually thought my health might start to decline. And I was like, hey, if my health is going to start to decline, I might have to go back to eating some animal products again. But my health actually significantly improved. I have endometriosis and used to be in pain like 12 days out of every single month for years. And within 3 months of eliminating animal products from my diet, the pain completely went away. Is that just a coincidence? Maybe. But yeah, meat, dairy, and eggs are the most inflammatory foods. So yeah, it's interesting that once I eliminated those very inflammatory foods from my diet, the inflammation went away. The pain went away. True story. And yeah, even from the American Institute for Cancer Research, a plant-based diet can reduce your risk of many forms of cancer. And if you have cancer, a plant-based diet can help slow the progression. From the National Kidney Foundation, a plant-based diet can help prevent kidney disease. And if you have kidney disease, a plant-based diet can help slow the progression. From the American Heart Association, the more meat you eat, the more risk you have of heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Yeah, you can eat plant-based nuggets. I think the plant-based nuggets actually taste better. they're better for you. Not that anything processed like that is healthy, you know, per se, but it's not as bad. You know, the plant-based chicken nuggets aren't as bad as the chicken nuggets that are literally made from an animal that was forced to live in an overcrowded, shit-filled shed for 6 weeks. But yeah, you're better off sticking to a whole foods, organic, plant-based diet, or as close to a whole foods, organic, plant-based diet as possible, filled with fruits and vegetables, beans, grains, legumes, nuts, seeds. Now, this is the circle of insanity. Artificially inseminating animals to force them to reproduce, which that artificial insemination process, yeah, they have to have semen. And how they get that semen is, you know, they collect it from male animals, from select male animals. And how they collect that is that they masturbate those male animals. They literally sexually stimulate them to force them to ejaculate. So that, well, let me show you a screenshot of something. So this is a screenshot of it's an instructional video. A screenshot of an instructional video put out by the pork industry demonstrating the semen collection process, which is standard practice throughout the entire animal agriculture industry. They literally masturbate these male animals to sexually stimulate them, to get them to ejaculate, to collect their semen, so they can force that semen into the female animals to force them to reproduce. And this is standard practice throughout the entire animal agriculture industry. It's not just happening in the pork industry. It's also happening in the poultry industry with male turkeys and roosters. They masturbate them too. It's also happening in the beef industry and in the dairy industry with the bulls. They collect the bull semen by masturbating them or shoving an electro-ejaculator in their anus to sexually stimulate them, to get them to orgasm, so that they ejaculate, so that they can shove that semen into the females, like the dairy cows, to get them pregnant, so that they will start to lactate, so they can steal their babies, so they can steal their baby's baby food to sell it to you. That is sexual assault. And it is bestiality. Even if this pig said, yeah, go ahead and do that to me, this is still bestiality. Yeah, bestiality is sexual relations between a human and an animal. Bestiality is sexual relations between a human and an animal. That's a human, that's an animal. She's sexually stimulating him. This is bestiality. And if you're Christian, you should look at what your Bible says about bestiality and what the punishment should be. And then I just came across a video. Recently of a pig farmer in UK who demonstrates how he artificially inseminates the female pig with the collected semen. And he literally takes his fist and he is rubbing the vagina of that sow with his fist, rubbing it to sexually stimulate her before he forces the semen into her to impregnate her. So you can have her babies to eat for breakfast. Yeah, and I'm telling you this. Yeah, I know. You probably, don't tell, I don't want to eat. Oh, that's gross. hey, you're the one supporting this industry. And the only reason why I'm telling you that this is happening is so that you will stop supporting this industry, so that you will go vegan, so you will understand why you need to go vegan. You need to go vegan for more reasons than one. Not just because these animals are literally having their heads chopped off inside of these slaughterhouses so you can eat their body parts. I mean, that's, it's bad enough. That's not enough to convince you to go vegan. Like literally for every single non-vegan meal you consume, every single non-vegan product you consume, you're literally having an animal's head chopped off. Like dairy cows even, they have their heads chopped off. When those dairy cows can no longer produce enough milk to be profitable, they're sent to slaughter and they have their head chopped off. And their body parts are ground up into ground beef. That's where most ground beef comes from. Ground up dead dairy cows. But yeah, obviously that's not enough to convince people to go vegan. So I'm like, hey, this has to be it. If I tell them the truth about that so-called artificial insemination process, no sane person is going to continue to consume animal products once they know this is happening. This is standard practice. There's all kinds of instructional videos put out by the industry itself, by the pork industry, by the poultry industry, by the dairy industry, by the beef industry, by the honey industry, because yes, they're even doing this to bees. And they figured out that if they squeeze on the abdomens of those male bees, that forces them to ejaculate. And then they die. And then they literally restrain the queen bee, knock her out with CO2, and force the semen of about 10 to 20 male bees into her to force her to reproduce. Yeah, if you were to force semen into a woman's vagina without her consent, that would not be artificial insemination. That would be a crime of sexual assault. And it should be a crime just the same. So yeah, that's the first thing that needs to happen to do away with this disgusting industry is they need to ban the artificial insemination process. That's the first thing that needs to be done. And I think any sane person, oh, look at this. Somebody created an account to harass me with. Oh, stay mad. Stay mad. Oh, stay mad. Like literally this person just is using a screenshot of me with like a ridiculous look. Yeah, because I'm always, I can't stop it. I'm just like, ugh. Like on the verge of just exploding because this is just insane that I have to night after night go through all of this to try to convince you people to do the right thing and go vegan. And my face is always just so expressive and screenshots my goofy look and uses it as their profile. And guess what? I'm going to screenshot that. So when this same person falsely reports my content and tries to get me banned, I'm going to prove that I'm being harassed and bullied and get my account back up and operating. But yeah, the reason why I'm telling you about this part of it, because yeah, a lot of vegans, most vegans don't even discuss this part of it. Maybe it's because some vegans really don't understand that this is happening. Because when I first went vegan, I didn't know that this was happening. I didn't know that they were actually doing these sick, disgusting things to these animals to get them to reproduce. I didn't know that. So when I heard other vegans talking about animals being RAPED'd, I was like, I don't get that part of it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the head chopping off thing, yeah, that's totally evil. But then when I saw the instructional videos of what they're doing to these animals to get them to reproduce, it's like, oh, yeah, it is. But you, as a consumer of animal products, you need to know that this is happening. So you can understand why you need to go vegan. You need to go vegan, because if you're not vegan, you are knowingly and willingly participating in bestiality and the sexual assault of animals. And I just proved that to you. I just proved that to you. And the Iowa dairy farmer just proved that to you too, with his new TikTok video. The Iowa dairy farmer just proved that too. But he's like, no, this is artificial insemination. But I'm like, no, if you did that exact same thing to a woman without her consent, because that dairy cow did not give consent, and like you're not doing that to help that dairy cow, you're literally doing that for the sinister purpose of stealing her baby, sending that baby off to be slaughtered if that baby's a boy, so you can steal the baby food that belongs to that baby. Yeah, nothing is right about any of this shit that's happening to these animals in this disgusting industry. So yeah, he's literally sexually violating a dairy cow on his latest TikTok video. Yeah, stay mad. Stay mad. Yeah, people who brag about harming animals, yeah. Not somebody I would want to be alone with anywhere. Like, seriously. If you can so easily kill an animal and brag about it, yeah, pretty soon you'll be moving on to humans. People who harm animals rarely stop there. Just watch Investigation Discovery. Just watch that true crime channel, Investigation Discovery. Yeah, it's like almost every story involves like a hunter. Yeah, the people killing their neighbors, killing their relatives. Yeah, it's like almost every freaking story, one after another. Oh, there's another hunter. There's another hunter murdering someone. Now I don't have to change my delivery method. No, that's untrue. Many vegan alternatives are far worse. No, not true at all. Yeah, I guess you don't understand. Like, look at this. This is the day. Look at these numbers. This is the number of animals slaughtered every single minute of every single day. And these animals don't just magically appear and the next day their body parts just magically turn up on store shelves. There's a whole process, a whole awful process that happens, and to feed all of these animals, because, you know, pigs are raised for 6 months before they're slaughtered. So they have to be fed day after day after day for 6 months. Cattle raised for beef, they're raised for like 12 to 22 months. So they have to be fed day after day after, because most cattle, in case you don't know, most cattle raised for beef are actually on shit and dirt covered feedlots being fed grains. And it takes as much as 16 pounds of grains to get just 1 pound of beef in return. So yeah, it takes a lot of land resources, a lot of water resources. These animals create a lot of waste. And yeah, like people are like, oh, but you vegans kill animals in crop production. So yeah, you're no better. Well, there are non-lethal methods of pest control. Of course, you probably don't know anything about that because you're not vegan. You don't give a shit about animals being killed in crop production. But I do. I don't want to see any animals being harmed. I don't even kill cockroaches or spiders. I don't even put spiders outside. Like when I see, like, I mean, I have little spiders up in the corner of my room here. I just let them be. You know, but like if there's like a big spider or something, I'm like, ew, I need to, if it's like, even if it's like 50 degrees outside, I'm like, no, it's going to get kind of cold tonight. I'll just leave him in and, you know, let him hang out in the house. And here are dairy farmers literally putting male calves, newborn baby calves, out in minus 20-degree weather. When I won't even put a spider out in 50-degree weather because I think that might be too cold for them. And they chose to, I didn't put them in my house. They just showed up there. So, you know, they like hanging out here. So, like, I'm not going to go put them out in my garage if it's going to drop to like 50 degrees out. And these dairy farmers are literally throwing newborn baby calves out in minus 20-degree weather when anything below zero is life-threatening to those newborn calves. Yeah, well, I don't know that. I didn't look into that. I just was like, no, they seem happy where they're at, and it's going to get kind of chilly tonight, so I'll just leave them in the house. Put them out when the weather warms up. But see what I'm saying? I even care for a spider. So yeah, I do know about crop deaths, and I do try to do what I can to minimize that. So yeah, like 1 Degree is a company that sources all of their ingredients from veganic farmers. So yeah, I get my oats, my lentils, my cereal, my bread from 1 Degree. The local organic farm where I get a lot of my produce from, they use non-lethal methods of pest control. They use pepper spray as a non-lethal method of pest control. And rabbits, mice, those animals, they have legs, they have ears, they have a will to live. When they hear those combines, they run, they sense danger. They run typically. They even did a study where they tracked dozens and dozens of mice in a field. And after that field was plowed, only 1 mouse turned up dead. Now, I don't want to see any mice die. I don't want to see any animals. I don't even want to see I don't even want to see a spider being killed, okay? But that 1 mouse that died, that was an accidental death. And maybe that mouse was already old. Maybe that's why he died, because he was old and sick and half dead anyway. But again, that was an accidental death. For you to say that, oh, look at these animals being accidentally killed in crop production, that gives me the right to intentionally have animals brutalized, mutilated, and forced to live in overcrowded, shit-filled dungeons for months and then forced screaming into a slaughterhouse to have their fucking heads chopped off because, oh, a mouse accidentally got caught up in a combine for your soy that you eat, for your tofu. No, that's not justification for what you're doing. You know, because that would be like a child running out in front of somebody's car and being killed. You know, and then you saying, oh, well, that gives me the right to plow my car through a crowded playground and intentionally kill a bunch of kids because this one person accidentally killed a kid that ran out in front of her car chasing a ball. That's your logic. That is how ridiculous your logic is. Vegans were trying to minimize the amount of harm we cause. And it doesn't even matter because whatever crop, even if I wasn't trying to go about, you know, sourcing the food that I buy from veganic farmers, it doesn't matter because more crops have to be fed to those animals whose flesh and secretions you're consuming. Oh, and there's another one. Oh, people are really angry. Like, look at this. Another person created an, oh, I can't even talk. I need to slow down. created and is using my face as their profile picture. I must be doing something right. Getting all of these people so mad. Yeah, but again, a lot more crops have to be produced to feed all of these animals whose flesh and secretions you consume. A lot more crops have to be produced. This is the rate of animals being killed every single minute across the globe. Every single minute of every single day. And again, these animals need to be fed. Cattle are fed for about 18 months before they're slaughtered. They have to be fed day after day after day after day. These pigs, they're fed for about 6 months before they're slaughtered. They're 6 months old when they're slaughtered. They can live over 10 years, but they're slaughtered at 6 months of age. They have to be fed day after day after day after day for 6 months. Chickens are raised for 6 weeks before they're slaughtered. So for 6 weeks, day after day after day, they have to be fed. And it takes as much as 6 pounds of grains to get just 1 pound of poultry in return. It takes as much as 16 pounds of grains to get just 1 pound of beef in return. So yeah, a lot more crops have to be produced to fatten up these animals whose flesh and secretions you consume. So that means a lot more water has to be used to water those crops. A lot more fertilizers have to be used to fertilize those crops. And those animals are being fed GMO corn. Most of these animals are literally being fed genetically modified corn and genetically modified soy. Roundup is killing off the bees and the butterflies. Yeah, because that Roundup, it's toxic in itself to the bees and butterflies, but the Roundup, what it does is it literally kills off all the weeds around the corn and the soybeans that are being grown to feed livestock. So it's, oh, there's another one. Oh, I wonder how many there are total now, because I just crossed 3. I just noticed 3. I'm not looking at all my I'm not looking at all my comments, but so far 3 different accounts set up to harass me. 3 different accounts. Using my face as their profile picture. Let's see, is there another one? Oh yeah, there's another one. Oh, so this is great. Great, because I can prove that I'm being harassed. So that's all you're doing is giving me material to use when I file my appeals. Yeah, they get so mad because I'm so right. I'm so right and they're so wrong, and it just enrages them. Yeah, well, lions and tigers aren't literally sexually violating other species to force them to reproduce and then mutilating their babies and forcing those babies to live in overcrowded, shit-filled dungeons and such filth. They have to be given antibiotics to keep them from getting sick and dying, and then forcing them, cramming them onto transport trucks in the freezing cold of winter and in the stifling heat of summer. Here in the United States, every year, about 20 million animals die on those transport trucks every year. Most of those animals either freeze to death in the winter or they die of heat stroke in the summertime. And the ones that make it to the slaughterhouse, they do not go in those slaughterhouses willingly. They are forced against their will into those slaughterhouses. Just stand outside of a slaughterhouse. You don't even have to go into a slaughterhouse to see the horror taking place, to understand the horror taking place. Just listen. Just stand outside of a slaughterhouse and listen to those animals screaming for their lives. Even chickens. I've seen undercover footage of chickens inside those slaughterhouses because they're dunked into these scalding tanks that help to remove their feathers. When you're literally slaughtering chickens at this number per minute, almost 90,000 chickens each and every minute of each and every day are being slaughtered. Yeah, it's safe to say there's probably at least a few hundred of these chickens at any given moment that are still conscious when they're being dunked into those scalding tanks. And again, I've seen undercover footage of those chickens conscious and screaming. Have you ever heard a chicken scream? I've heard chickens scream. I've seen undercover footage of chickens being put through those scalding tanks that are used to remove their feathers and screaming in pain because they're conscious still. They either never were rendered unconscious or they went unconscious and then regained consciousness. Oh, well, let's. Okay, so let me do a screenshot of that. Now I had to delete other screenshots because it saves it to the clipboard and I don't want all my other things that I used to make comments with deleted. So I had to delete them and come back. So now I'm going to say this comment as proof I'm being harassed and bullied. Someone make a new account of her. Yeah, stay mad. Stay mad. No, I didn't run away. I just went off to delete the screenshots that were saved to my clipboard so that it didn't clear out all of the comments that I have saved to automatic. You know, like when there are other people doing live streams, like butchers doing live streams, I have all of these comments so that I could quickly, you know, comment, you know, like rest in peace to all the hundreds of millions of animals that were just slaughtered today. Meat is murder. Red rum. And I just have all these comments that I post on other people's live streams when they're doing evil things to animals. So yeah, I didn't want to have to redo those comments, so. Okay, well, it is 1 o'clock where I'm at, and I got to get up for work in the morning, and I really don't want to sign off. I'd really like just to advocate for animals 24/7 because they're being slaughtered at this rate per minute, 24/7. So yeah, that's why it's so hard for me to just, you know, shut down and, you know, turn this app off and go to bed, because this slaughter never ends, never stops for a minute, never stops, never. This is just an ongoing massacre. And again, this is the number of animals that are slaughtered every single minute of every single day across the globe. And this atrocity is the worst atrocity in history. Just by the numbers alone, it's the worst atrocity in history. In 1 year alone, more animals are forced into slaughterhouses in just 1 year alone than the total number of humans who have ever existed throughout all of time. But this atrocity is actually destroying the planet and causing the 6th mass extinction. So yes, this atrocity is by far the worst atrocity ever. So yeah, I'm never going to shut up about it until it ends. And you can help make it end by going vegan. Yeah, I used to be in a cult, the animal killing cult. Luckily, I escaped the animal killing cult. No, I don't lie about anything. I have no reason to lie. I'm simply here stating facts. Stating facts. Because I was duped. Most of my life I was duped into thinking I had to eat animal flesh and secretions to be healthy. Literally, just thought it was a given. Just thought it was a given that we eat animals. But yeah, the concept of veganism has been around for a long, long time. It's even there on the very first page of the Bible, Genesis 1:29. Oh, and then somebody has a picture of me, and then, okay, well, there's another one for me to shot. So more proof I'm being harassed and bullied. More proof. Yeah, I would have to be crazy to know what I know and not be vegan. I would have to be crazy to know what I know and keep it to myself. That would make me crazy. I do not lie. I have no reason to lie. And PETA, I do not financially support PETA. No, not until Ingrid Newkirk actually goes vegan. No, she does not. She does not know what it means to be vegan. Yeah, because I understand what's happening at those shelters, the PETA shelters. Yeah, because I was shocked. I was shocked. It was probably, I don't know, maybe even going on 20 years now. I remember I was like in a dentist office and in the waiting room, and there was a magazine, and I picked it up and was looking through it, and there was an article where Ingrid Newkirk was interviewed, and she was quoted as saying that after like 30 days, she thinks that those shelter animals should be euthanized because she thinks it's cruel to keep them in cages. So she says that like after 30 days, they should be humanely euthanized. But no, that's not euthanasia. That's murder. To kill a healthy animal, that's murder. And she should know that. She should know better than that. So no, not as long as they're executing shelter cats and shelter dogs. They're not getting a cent from me. And I'm not like accusing everybody that is with PETA of doing that, because I'm sure there are people there who disagree too that that's not right. But they know that PETA has done a lot of good for animals. But yeah, I mean, I was even like one time protesting on the street corner, you know, holding a sign, raising awareness about what's happening to these animals, to produce animal products. And then somebody shouted out, like, PETA sucks. And I understand why they're saying that. Because, you know, they're aware of the fact that dogs and cats at those shelters are being executed. And that's not right. But that should be more of a reason for you to go vegan. To know that an animal rights organization actually kills animals. That is more of a reason for you to go vegan. That just proves how fucked up animals have it. That just proves how fucked up animals have it. That even an animal rights organization is killing animals, killing cats and dogs. And see, the reason why I'm going to bring this up, and people are like, oh, no, I'm not going to say nothing about it because I don't want to, like, you know, I mean, you know, PETA has done a lot of good, and I don't want to, like, say anything bad about PETA. But this needs to be said because there are a lot of people who are like, fuck these vegans. They see what has happened to these shelter dogs and cats under Ingrid Newkirk's control. And they're like, well, fuck it. If PETA is killing cats and dogs, you think I'm going to stop eating meat? Fuck that. PETA's literally killing cats and dogs. I'm going to continue to eat meat. They're a bunch of hypocrites. These vegans are a bunch of hypocrites. Well, again, Ingrid Newkirk is not a vegan. And any of these fucking vegans that say stray cats should be killed, you're not a fucking vegan. You don't know what it is to be vegan. You're a fucking speciesist. You are not a vegan. You are a speciesist. If you're saying, oh, I'm vegan, but yeah, I think stray cats should be killed. Oh, because they're harming the wildlife. No, your non-vegan family members are causing a hell of a lot more harm to wildlife than any stray cat ever could. Like non-vegans are literally causing the 6th mass extinction. So yeah, so sick of the nonsense. So sick of the nonsense. And see, if PETA was a no-kill shelter, yeah, see, a lot more people would be vegan. Because they wouldn't use this shit that, oh, look at these hypocrite vegans. Which, yes, Ingrid Newkirk is a hypocrite. And maybe she's changed her stance. I hope so, but I don't think so. I could be wrong. Maybe she is operating a no-kill shelter now. I don't know, but I just know what she was quoted as saying years back, and I think that she still has that same position today. So that's not vegan. It is not acceptable to kill anybody. And it's only humane euthanasia when it's in the best interest of that animal, because that animal like has terminal cancer and is in pain. That is the only way that it could ever be humane to end an animal's life, when it's in that animal's best interest because they're suffering. How do I feel about FFA? Or do you just want to see me go off again? Is that it? You just want to see me go off again? The FFA literally psychologically abuses children. Like these kids, so many of them are literally traumatized. They literally have to send their friends. They even say this on their own comments. Like a week ago, there was this girl calling her pig her best friend. This is my best friend. And she's saying she's going to be sending him off to a slaughterhouse. Who sends their friend, their best friend, off to a slaughterhouse to be hacked to pieces? The FFA is literally psychologically abusing these children. Oh, we teach them responsibility. No, you teach those students how to turn their friends into food. That is psychotic. That is some criminal shit that they're getting away with. And it's all over money. All over the sin of greed. I'm just rambling. Well, yeah, maybe a little bit. I am tired. It is only like 1:15 and I have to get up in the morning, and I already went to bed at like 2 a.m. last night when I had to get up at like 7:30. So yeah, I am very sleep deprived. So yeah, I think they say that when you're like sleep deprived, you kind of actually are like inebriated. Like it's almost like I'm drunk. But I'm not. I'm just very tired. Yeah, most of those fields are being plowed to produce crops to feed these. Look at the numbers. This is the number of animals slaughtered per minute around the globe. A lot more crops have to be produced to feed these animals to be able to slaughter them at this rate per minute. A hell of a lot more crops are being produced to feed these animals so that they can continually slaughter them at this rate per minute. Do you think that these animals don't eat at all? Seriously? You think these animals don't drink water? You think these animals don't defecate? Animal agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, ocean plastics, fisheries depletion, pandemics, world hunger, and climate change. Oh, there's 2 of them together. Oh, let's get the 3 or 4 of them together and see. Okay, let me see. So I can really show TikTok that I'm being harassed and bullied when I got like 3, 4, 5 different accounts. People creating accounts and using my face as their profile picture to harass and bully me. Yeah, well, I don't care about you. I don't care about you, but does that give me the right to cause you harm? Well, obviously I'm like hitting a nerve. Hitting a nerve. I mean, oh my God, it's like I just came across like 10 new accounts that people have created and using my face as their profile picture. That must mean I'm doing something right. That I got so many people riled up. Where they're literally, you know, spending time creating an account, taking screenshots of me, and then using that as their profile picture. Well, obviously you care because, like, why are you even wasting your time? Why would you waste your time if you don't care? You care. You care that I'm making a difference and it's making you mad. No, I'm not harassing people. You're on my live stream. If you have no interest in going vegan, you don't have to be here. You don't have to be here. You can very easily ignore me like you ignore the fact that you have innocent creatures slaughtered all day long for your food preferences. Funny you can ignore this massacre that you're taking part in. You can so easily turn a blind eye to this massacre that you're literally funding all day, every day with every single non-vegan purchase you make. But you can't ignore me. You can't ignore, you even have to comment on my live stream. Why is that? Because deep down inside, you know what you're doing to animals is wrong. And you know I'm right for speaking up for your victims. My list shows the number of animals killed per minute across the globe. This is the number of animals slaughtered for food across the globe per minute. Every minute of every day. That's why it's like almost 1:30. I still have to take a shower. I still have to put out the garbage. And I have to get up at like 7:30 in the morning. But I'm still going on my TikTok live because this slaughter keeps on going on and 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 on. So yeah, it's kind of hard for me to stop when this won't fucking stop because you won't fucking stop. Paying people to slaughter these innocent animals all day, every day. And it's like, it's mind-blowing. Like, you don't even want to comprehend how horrible this is. Like, every single non-vegan product you consume, you're literally paying someone to chop an animal's head off. And then you say you're an animal lover, and you're literally having the heads of animals severed for every single even dairy products. Those dairy cows literally have their heads chopped off. When they can no longer produce enough milk to be profitable, they're sent to a slaughterhouse, their heads are chopped off. All the male calves born to those dairy cows, their heads are chopped off. So even for dairy products, you're having an animal's head chopped off. So it's like all day, every day. Chop, 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 chop. You're chopping heads off of animals. Maybe you physically aren't doing the chopping off of the heads, but you're literally paying someone else to chop those animals' heads off for you. Because, like, why is that pig's head not attached to your bacon in the morning? Because they chopped it off. Why is the cow's head not attached to your burger? Because it was chopped off. Why is that chicken's head not attached to your dino nuggies? Because it was chopped off. Yeah, I will cry about it. Well, just look at the last video before I leave. For anybody who has just tuned in the past like 30 minutes, because I stopped talking about that. I was talking about that like the first half of my live stream. But this is one of the latest videos that I posted, a screenshot of it, taken right from a YouTube video that was posted by this dairy farmer who operates a small family dairy farm. He literally goes into the barn where his pregnant dairy cows are. And the one dairy cow just had given birth to this little baby boy. And out of his own mouth, he says that the wind chill that night is going to drop to minus 20 degrees. And he literally takes this baby from that barn away from his mother and puts him outside in this tiny little pen when the wind chill is going to drop to minus 20 degrees. Anything below 0 is like life-threatening to these newborn babies. Yeah, this is a newborn baby animal, a newborn calf. The reason why they take these little calves off those mothers soon after they're born, standard practice throughout the entire animal agriculture industry, is because they don't want that mother and her baby to bond with one another. So they take those little newborn calves off their mothers soon after they're born and then put them out in tiny pens in all kinds of weather extremes. So yeah, minus 20 degree wind chill, and this little baby's outside in an isolation pen away from his mother. And the dairy farmer says it's a beef calf. So he said out of his own mouth, in 10 days, he's selling this little boy off to the beef industry. And then he'll be slaughtered at just 1 year old. When these animals can actually live over 20 years old, he's going to be slaughtered at just 1 year of age for beef, because that is the age that beef cattle are slaughtered at, in case you don't know. They're only 1 year old. 1 year old when they're slaughtered. They can live over 20 years. But yeah, why would he take this little baby from that barn away from his mother and put him outside in minus 20 degree weather when he's only keeping him for 10 days? Like, why doesn't he just leave the little baby in the barn with his mother for that 10-day period? It's only 10 days. And the weather's dropping to minus 20 below. The wind chill is dropping to minus 20 below. Oh, yeah, because they don't want the babies and the mothers to bond with one another. So that's why they remove these little calves as soon as they're born, or within hours of those dairy cows giving birth, because they don't want them to form a bond. And then they want to be able to take that dairy cow and put her in a milking parlor like twice a day to suck their baby's food out of their bodies. So that kind of keeps the stress, you know, of having to take this baby from his mother constantly to move her to the milking parlor. Yeah, so this is being done for some pretty sinister reasons. Cows do not produce milk because they're cows. These dairy cows do not produce milk because they're dairy cows. They produce milk because they're mothers. That is the only reason why they produce milk. That milk that comes from their udders is food for their babies, not for you. The reason why most people cannot digest cow's milk without having digestive issues isn't because they are lactose intolerant. It's actually because they're not baby cows. Cow's milk is baby food for baby cows. So give me a follow if you have any interest in going vegan. Look at some of my videos, stitch them, duet them, comment on them. I don't consume products sprayed with pesticides. I despise pesticides. Guess you've never heard of non-lethal methods of pest control. Organic farming, veganic farming, vertical farming, growing your own food. No, I don't respect anybody who does something so heinous to an animal that it would actually be a crime of rape and or kidnapping and or murder. By them not bonding, the cows aren't as sad. They're not as sad. Again, this is a newborn baby. He should not be stolen from his mother because, those dairy farmers don't want them to bond because they want to be able to steal the food that belongs to these babies and sell it to you, and they don't want anything to interfere with, that process of keeping their dairy cow from being able to turn a profit because, if they get attached to these little babies and their babies are taken from them after they form a tight bond with their baby, then the cows are really going to be traumatized and maybe be so depressed that they're going to stop eating. And then that's going to affect their milk production. So this is being done for a very, very sinister purpose. Not for a good purpose. Like, are you kidding me? Or you're acting like that's a good thing? Oh, but it's a good thing they take the baby from the mother to keep them from getting sad. Yeah, let's go just take a woman's baby as soon as she gives birth so that they don't bond. So, we can hook her up to a milking machine and suck her baby's food out of her body and then send her baby to a slaughterhouse because, we don't have any use for him because he's a boy. But it's all good because, at least we took him from her before they bonded with one another. We did a good thing, yeah. Oh my God, why do I have to, Yeah, and once again, let me just say before I sign off, good and evil do exist. Good exists, and unfortunately, evil exists. I am vegan because I am against evil. And this disgusting industry, the whole entire animal agriculture industry, is pure evil, is pure filth, is literally destroying our planet. It's the leading cause of deforestation, species extinction, water pollution, water depletion, ocean dead zones, ocean plastics, fisheries depletion, pandemics, world hunger, and climate change. This industry is causing the 6th mass extinction. This industry is based on sexually violating animals to get them to reproduce, stealing their babies from them, mutilating those babies, massacring those babies. Fairlife Farms. They need to go down. They should not even be in business after what that undercover investigation revealed. And you can see it if you go to the Animal Recovery Missions webpage. The Animal Recovery Missions webpage. You can see the full investigation of all the horrific things that those workers on that Fair Oaks farm was doing to those calves, literally bashing the babies in the face with their bottles because they wouldn't drink their bottles because they're babies and they were just taken from their mothers and they don't want a fucking bottle. They want their mothers. And those workers, because they literally have to make sure that hundreds and hundreds of little baby calves are fed each day, they were getting very irritated because the babies, either because they were sick or because they were depressed because they wanted their mothers, they were not drinking from the bottle. So the workers are literally smashing them in the face with their bottles out of aggravation and frustration. Literally picking the little babies up and slamming them down on the ground and stomping on them, whipping them around. Look it up. Look it up if you think I'm exaggerating. Animal Recovery Missions investigation of Fair Oaks Farm. It's also on YouTube. Animal Recovery Mission, Fair Oaks Farm investigation. This whole disgusting industry needs to be banned, and it needs to be banned now. It's pathetic that anybody would try to defend what they're doing to these animals. The same things are being done to humans. They would in fact be crimes of rape, kidnapping, theft, and murder, and I'm not even exaggerating.